And if you think about the evolution of entertainment artifacts, like there's something that's to what you're saying around sharing. When we read a book, you have to read the book and then talk to somebody who's read the book, right? And it's almost like this protracted loop. And then you get closer to TV and it's like nobody's really talking on the telephone while they're, well, kids these days are more and more frequently putting FaceTime on and watching, but we would have to watch it together. Or you would have to, you know, is there a Japanese name for coffee, water cooler talk? Like when you're at work and you're standing by the old water cooler and you have to talk about a TV show or something like that. But you move to interactive formats and you experience it together, talking in real time, but you actually craft the experience together a lot, right?
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of our video interview series at Off Topic. Today I'm super excited to be here with the Chief Marketing Officer of Roblox, Jerret West. Thank you, Jerret, for hosting this event and having us join.
This is my favorite time of the year. Only time we get to have 2,000 creators all in the same place, and you've probably seen they're so unique and coming from all walks of life. It's really, really, really fun.
It's been an incredible 2 days. So first of all, where are we here today?
So we are here at the Roblox Developer Conference, and this is our annual showcase where we bring our top creators from around the world into one place where we can tell them about the latest products, things that we're releasing in the very near future, also talk to them about progress on the economy side. And then they have these really cool things that are called lightning sessions where they teach each other. And then we have breakout sessions where we go in more depth with all of these different things. So in some ways a traditional conference, but a very non-traditional audience as you're seeing it. What's been cool is we are now adding beyond creators, we are seeing more influencers who are really making a living off of Roblox content on social media platforms. That are more involved here and learning about the products and actually talking about it.
And I heard this year was a little bit probably more technical than some of the other years, right? So it kind of depends on the year and kind of what's trending, what you guys need to kind of provide to creators. But most of the sessions, I think, especially with the keynotes, are geared towards the creators in terms of how to help them, what tools to provide them. But at the same time, like I have a feeling talking to some of the Roblox executives that one of the ethos that I think I've heard over and over is you want to give a lot of freedom to the creators. It's not like Roblox wants to set a direction and say like, please do this, please do that. It's we're giving you tools, explore, you guys are the creators, you guys dictate where the platform goes.
Yeah, you know, the big push for us is to create an agnostic platform that is a sandbox format that you can create anything that's around in your imagination that you want to try to create into an interactive experience. And we want that to be super scalable across every part of the world, across every type of device you might be playing Roblox on. And so we work really hard to make that sandbox seamless on multiple dimensions, from like video fidelity to gameplay loops and types to translation to payment method. Incredibly complex to pull all of those things off, but a big hallmark of our success has been that when somebody creates something, they can truly see it travel worldwide. And that is not as simple as movies or TV or music, right? Unlocking streamed interactive experiences is another level of technology.
So at Roblox, you know, your role is the Chief Marketing Officer. What does that entail? And then, you know, how did you get to, you know, joining Roblox?
Well, maybe I'll take the last part first. So my career journey has been mostly really entirely in the entertainment marketing space. So I started off at a digital advertising agency before when they were beginning to be a thing. There was really only 3 of them at that point in time. And so right at the dawn of internet advertising. And that was really formational for my sort of career experience. And then I dropped into grad school and right from there into Xbox. And I spent 8 years at Xbox. My last individual contributor job was launching Halo 3, which was a really big game at the time. And then I jaunted off to American Express on their consumer travel side. But then another formative moment for me was 8 years at Netflix. And that job took me around leading marketing for specific regions. So I started in North America, Australia, New Zealand, moved over to Europe, Middle East, Africa, and then moved over to Asia Pac, Singapore, and was looking across really every country from India down to Australia and then all the way up to Japan and Korea. And then came back to Xbox right at the console launch of this last generation, and then moved over to Roblox about a year ago. So that brings me to current, but really very much in the interactive space, entertainment space. And it's been a really fabulous ride. I see a lot of similarities with Roblox and its growth cycle and the way content is discovered and keeps building on itself. Like new things are happening all the time. I see very, very similar traits from Netflix in that way.
Yeah, I think one of the really, obviously, Roblox, if you look at the earnings report and everything, the numbers keep growing. It's incredible, especially the DAU numbers. But one of the really interesting numbers that I was looking at was kind of quarterly peak concurrent user numbers. And like most recently, the 45 million concurrent users, incredible numbers. But if you look at it, it's really jumped in maybe these last 2, maybe 3 quarters. Like, and then at the same time, you see a lot of new titles become insanely popular, right? Like Grow Garden, Steal a Brain Rot, all these different games and experiences. What do you think was there like some sort of turning point? Like what do you think contributed to that?
It's exponential math on some levels. And if you think about common virality loops of things that people just love to do or play or talk about, we're seeing that phenomenon take place. It's tough to sustain that, though, unless you have the content generation mechanism that we have, which is hundreds of thousands of creators around the world building all at the same time. That loop is accelerating. And that's what's interesting here, because if you look at the top 10, 3 of the top 10 are new within the past 12 months to the service, to the platform. And so those are the kinds of loops that I'm talking about, that I see a lot of similarity, where you discover these new experiences and titles. And because there are so many people that are playing, they're telling their friends about it. And then you get these moments that are like 45 million people showing up to play essentially 2 games at the same time. One of those people is my son, who he just loves Grow a Garden and also Steal a Brain Rot right now, which are 2 very popular games on the platform.
Yeah, and it's different from some of the other kind of gaming platforms where maybe there's like one big hit that maybe the company makes themselves, right? Versus Roblox, which is very, very user generated. I don't like, beyond maybe like the most recent like Moments product you launched most recently. I don't think there's a lot of like Roblox experiences that Roblox itself has made.
And Moments isn't its own experience, right? It's just capturing and meant specifically for discovery. Because we do see the same thing. Like, there is, what do we have? 1.2 billion video views daily on YouTube and TikTok on Roblox. So there's obviously a signal there around people discovering content. And so it's a discovery mechanism for us. And yeah, it's going to be super fun to see how that grows, and it might create another viral loop for the next big game that we have.
That makes sense. I think another really interesting thing, the DAU numbers, but the engagement hours. I think it was like 27.4 billion hours, and that's in the past quarter, right? I remember someone had said it's about 60% the level of Netflix right now, which is insane, because Roblox is very interactive, right? So it's a different type of engagement, but I think when people think about Roblox, I think almost immediately think of gaming, right? But Roblox is so much more than that. There's so many other different types of content, and it's not only that. It's like, not people aren't joining just to play games. They're there to hang out with each other. Right. Can you talk a little bit about the social aspect of Roblox and how it's kind of evolved from kind of this gaming platform to almost this kind of social experience?
Yeah, for me as a marketer, I often will refer to it like games, but the more accurate answer is actually experiences, right? Because you have really interactive moments, and quite often it's with your in real life community and friends, and it just travels between those two things. So it's a platform that I think blurs the line more than that. It makes me think of those days for me where I was growing up and I would be watching over the shoulder of my friend who's playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Tech Mobile or something like that. And I sit there and observe my 10-year-old son, and it's the same behavior where he's talking with his buddies from school and they're playing the same game together, but they're doing it all via the Roblox platform.
Yeah.
So it is that sort of communal video game loop that has now become a little bit more closed loop within the platform, and they're traveling between games and experiences and things like that. So in some ways, video games has always been extremely social. In the traditional game world, about half of those games on PC and console are played co-op or multiplayer. And so it's always been social like that. It's just Roblox happens to be more communal. And blending your in real life friends. That's my observation.
Makes sense. And I also think like video games is one of the rare forms of media that as you consume the content, it becomes content as well for other people, right? If you read a book, you can't share that immediately, right? But you can with a game. As you're playing it, you can kind of use capture and show it on moments, or you can put it on YouTube where there's a trillion views now, right?
But you're onto something there. And if you think about the evolution of entertainment artifacts, like there's something that's to what you're saying around sharing. When we read a book, you have to read the book and then talk to somebody who's read the book, right? And it's almost like this protracted loop. And then you get closer to TV and it's like nobody's really talking on the telephone while they're, well, kids these days are more and more frequently putting FaceTime on and watching, but we would have to watch it together. Or you would have to, is there a Japanese name for coffee, water cooler talk? Is there a good saying for that?
Is there, I don't.
Do you know what this is? Like when you're at work and you're standing by the old water cooler and you have to talk about a TV show or something like that. But you move to interactive formats and you experience it together, talking in real time, but you actually craft the experience together a lot, right? Like you solve a puzzle or you play a match in, a shooter game or something like that.
It's not just being passive, it's being active and participating in it and then changing it depending on all your
100%. So I think the way that you put that is very fascinating because the evolution of like entertainment consumption, and this is the latest version of how that works. And there's a lot of science there telling us that that's actually quite healthy to have those kinds of interactive experiences where you're truly having a communal moment.
I think one other really, really interesting example that I've heard from a friend was their child gets Robux as an allowance, which I think is becoming more and more common. But like apparently the child didn't have enough Robux. The person wanted more, so instead of asking for more money, the person actually went and created their own experience, monetized, and then gained enough Robux to buy whatever that person wanted. And this is a child we're talking about, right? It almost feels like the next generation lemonade stand. And like I wonder if there's anything Roblox does to you do a lot in education, but what about like financial education? Is there any kind of potential step you guys would build towards on that side?
Financial education, there's a couple of thoughts I have on this. One is I might amend Lemonade Stand to science experiment, because if you think about the kids that are like that, I would bet you that kid is like a STEM kid, you know what I mean? And is curious enough to go figure out Creator Studio and Roblox. We try to make that easy, but it's not like...
it's not like everybody can like immediately do it.
It takes a minute for you to figure out. But we see kids experimenting and doing that because they get an idea in their head.
Right.
and they want to put it onto a screen,
Right.
an experience. So I would say it's almost like in some ways, the modern day STEM fair,
Interesting.
For a lot of kids.
Right, right.
And you see a lot of them grow up into creators that are wildly successful.
I mean, so many of them have been playing Roblox for over 10 years, right? It's insane.
And then at some point they go and they get curious about Creator Studio, and they discover that I can actually make an experience super easy.
Right.
And then it goes from there into something bigger. But so that's one way to answer it.
Yeah.
And we definitely see that phenomenon. Then there's the education component more broadly. So we see a lot of places, including Japan, where digital curriculum and science curriculum is being built around Roblox game building.
Right.
Because it's such a wonderful way to teach principles around game creation, software creation, STEM.
Right. Being curious, like building things. I think like a lot of that is missing, I think, in a lot of schools where it's very lecture based, right?
Yes.
And you can just kind of listen, but then you're not really doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we think that there is really a game, a world for us to dive into around education and helping build curriculum.
And this doesn't just apply to children, right? This applies to adults, right? This, like, I think some companies use it as a hiring tool to kind of measure kind of creativity as well. So I think there's a lot of different ways you can use it on that side as well.
Right, yeah. In our hiring practices, we also have game elements of how our engineers are playing certain things, unlocking certain things, managing to different types of gameplay loops, and because there's a lot of science and mathematical and logic-based principle there. So
that makes sense.
You're 100% right.
So another really interesting user behavior to me was so you had people, I think IKEA did this experience where they paid people to work at IKEA Roblox.
Yeah.
Right.
What a cool marketing hook, by the way.
It's an incredible marketing hook, right? Do you almost see this as a precursor to, a future where, there might be jobs that only exist on Roblox?
Only, wow, that's...
where it's like, it's a full-time job to be on Roblox to help people, maybe it's,
I haven't really thought about whether or not it becomes its own world of career development. It's interesting to think about, like, I'm working at the Roblox IKEA right now, but I'm interviewing for the Roblox Burger King or the Roblox. I'm gonna go to college at the Roblox University.
But like theoretically, I mean, in a world where so many experiences are now built on Roblox and there's a whole economy behind it, it theoretically becomes possible, right?
That the platform is being built for broad interactive experiences and in a range of different things. You're seeing the marketplace become quite diverse already. There's, our revenue, nearly half is coming from the avatar marketplace. And then you have the experience side of things. It's two different types of creator. Like this one might be a little bit more fashion style centric or have those sorts of things in his or her mind, and then this person's got more around STEM and thinking about experiences. They both have to have STEM to be able to build stuff in the digital space, but they're uniquely nuanced. But you're definitely seeing two different types of economies there built.
Right. So you mentioned about how Roblox is frequently mentioned and featured on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these different platforms. How important kind of were those platforms, and what was did you have a relationship with YouTube, and like what kind of evolved, like how did that relationship kind of evolve?
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good your relationship is with those platforms. They care most about they're going to be focused on what is driving the most engagement and growth.
Right.
So it starts with just having a bunch of content that has a ton of variety, and that's why Roblox is seeing so much interest. I think you can do very, very fun and unique and different things. So I think there's more surprise component for people who are watching a video on Roblox than perhaps linear loop games or specific IP, like you were just saying, know? And I think that's a surprise and delight. We're lucky to have people who have wonderful personalities that talk about the platform. So we do have great relationships with all of those digital platforms, but it starts with just having content that takes care of itself.
That makes sense.
I will say though that what role you originally asked, what role has it played, and it's a huge top of funnel and discovery driver for us.
Is that partially why Moments came out as well, or was that did that come up for a different reason?
The signal there is people using short form content like that, videos like that for discovery.
Right. Discovery of new experiences.
Exactly.
Right.
So we don't want to necessarily emulate those platforms. What we want to do is have within our universe a discovery loop that drives people from like, oh, that looks interesting, or whoa, wait a minute, Grow Garden just launched a new update I'm seeing. And it takes them into the game.
Right, because from the clip, you can go immediately to the experience, and that's how you complete the loop.
Yeah, but there was clearly a signal there. There is clearly a signal there around content discovery and the videos that people are watching. Right,
makes sense. I feel like live spectating maybe is going to be another kind of big thing we're going to start seeing on Roblox, especially as now there's a lot more like sports content as well, right? I think if I remember correctly, Crollo recently announced this new Soccer Zero game.
Yeah.
So many people already are waitlisted on it, right? And so like I feel like there's so many, and most recently Kodansha, right? Like they announced their Blue Lock, that's the soccer IP as well. So like, do you think that's another potential new angle as well, or?
Spectating broadly too. So we're deeper into concerts. We're back on that, and we're gonna have loads of fun stuff to announce in the coming months around that space. There's a component of being able to watch a concert and interact digitally in that way. Being able to access a concert, there's people who are on my list, and I keep checking, like, oh, when are they coming? I live in Seattle. It's like, when are they coming to Seattle? So you kind of unlock that bit as well.
Makes sense.
There's the spectating I was talking about, like watching over the shoulder, friends playing Mike Tyson Punch-Out or Tecmo Bowl. That happens all the time on Roblox. And then there's the competitive spirit stuff, like maybe you're talking about, but watching a really cool race, or a really tight football match, that sort of thing. All of that I think is very real and open-ended for Roblox.
Got it. So last 3 questions on my side. One is, so last year, I think Gordon Ramsay, he turned his Hell's Kitchen show into a Roblox experience. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was this year, Mr. Beast
that's
did
this
it
year.
with Beast Games. Hopefully again with Beast Games 2, but we'll see. So I feel like we're seeing more of this kind of merging of content and then with gaming, right? So the traditional kind of YouTube or TV show. Do you expect, is that something Roblox wants to focus on? And then, what kinds of different things do you want to see on the platform on that side?
Well, we definitely want to see variety. We want to see more people jumping into those things with unique experiences that tie nicely to other aspects of, what would you call it, entertainment moment or something like that. So we definitely want to see more of that, more variety of that, and more engaging experiences that really take advantage of what's unique about Roblox, for sure.
Got it.
When you think about the really interesting component of this is, I think they see a couple of things. They see that engagement is quite a lot longer than it is on other experiences that they might create, or like very finite things like a commercial or a trailer or something like that. People are truly interacting with Hell's Kitchen. The demographic is super compelling. It's a unique set of global players from 6 to 60 in a lot of instances. We're growing super fast in that 13 plus category. And that's really exciting for people. And it's a unique place to be able to tell something if you've got a creative vision for how you would emulate that. You can recreate the kitchen, or you can do some unique twist on it and all that sort of stuff. So I just think it has a lot of unique assets that our marketers are always looking for. How do I create something that is unique, creatively inspired, touches the right demographic I'm looking after, and is going to engage deeply with what I do?
Got it.
It's like literally, it's the checklist of what Roblox offers.
Right. I want to shift gears a little bit to Japan.
Okay.
So what's the growth been like there? I think the CEO of Roblox mentioned, thanks to some of the higher quality auto translation, that it has helped increase kind of the number of people both in Japanese games, but also from Japanese games to abroad.
Yeah.
I think one of the really interesting things about Japan that I've observed, and you've probably observed at Netflix, was that Japan is very domestic oriented in terms of like they like domestic content versus U.S. or Western or content from other places. Is that similar on Roblox? Or do you expect that to change with all these improvements in translation?
Yeah.
If you can talk a little bit about Japan.
Well, I know that in my soul, having been out in Asia Pac and stood up the Japan operations, especially on the marketing side, for a multiple of years. And I know that things really settled and became established for Netflix when we had Terrace House, Naked Director, if you remember that show.
Yeah.
There was an entire string of work to build out the anime slate and things like that, and now it's in a wonderful spot. That's just more to your point that Japan is unique. It's one of one in terms of style, in terms of game development capability, in terms of taste preferences and how they think about content consumption. So all of those pieces make it very clear that you have to have a really healthy and robust content ecosystem, and for us, a creator ecosystem that is Japanese.
Got it.
And so I look at it like we're in this phase where we're starting to see really good scale on the player side of things. And you've got now creators who are feeling very inspired. On the, like I said, there's an avatar marketplace side. And if you think about bunka fashion and some of the things they're doing, inspiring creators on that end of things, and then creators who are building things, also very unique and IP specific Japanese brand experiences. All of these things are going to move in concert together, and the vision has to be in a few years where there is a ton of globally successful experiences that are Japanese, uniquely Japanese.
And I think like David mentioned this as well, is because Japan has such a creative community that but oftentimes they've never been able to really go global because of the language issues, all that stuff. But Roblox, it really is a gateway for them to access this global community.
For sure. And I think that is true in many ways. Perhaps like if you think about traditional TV or something like that. But when you think about something like our Kodansha relationship, I think manga, there's a global passion for it. Anime built out of manga, of course, as you know, global passion for it. So those Japanese-based video games, global passion for it. So I think these creators are going to find that I can take these things that do travel, that are part of Japanese culture, and this is a platform that can be successful globally very fast.
Got it.
What I'm most curious about are going to be I love the corner cases when I was at Netflix looking at like, whoa, this is a movie or TV show that you that's very uniquely Japan, So I cannot wait to see those games on Roblox that are like, okay, that's super, I'm gonna play this, because why is this so popular in Japan specifically?
That makes sense. And we'll probably see a lot of them very shortly. But so last questions, and I know this will probably keep changing for you, but as of this moment right now, what is your current favorite Roblox experience?
99 Nights in the Forest.
Nice.
I think I think it's just really a fun concept of do you remember the old television show 24? Did that become popular in Japan maybe? No, not so much.
But I've lived half my life in the US, so
okay, got it. There's another show called The Pit right now that follows an emergency room in Pittsburgh for just one day. And each episode is an hour.
Oh, got it. Okay.
24 was the same way, right?
Yeah.
But that concept I think is super fun, and 99 Nights is like that.
Right.
Like, can you survive
Right.
for 99 nights?
Makes sense.
And I just think when I look at the potential for the game loop to have additions of things and like new animals, new challenges, new landscapes, you know, does it always have to be the forest?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I think they have like a lot of potential to extend the course of that game. So
sense.
I think it's pretty cool to see that one.
Yeah, and hopefully, soon a Japanese game will come by as well.
Well, this is another one of those things. Like if you think about Netflix and Money Heist, which was a popular game or a popular show in Spain, and then it became, why not 99 Nights and do something like Japan landscapes, you know? Or maybe they work with a creator who's Japanese to build that version of it. So I think the platform is set up for that kind of thing. And I would love to see examples of how that would play out.
Incredible. Jerret, thank you for your time today. I know you're super busy, you're running around, but appreciate you spending your time to chat with us.
My pleasure. This was a lot of fun.
Amazing. Thank you.